Well, hi there,
Well,
Amanda.
hello. It's been a minute.
Hello there.
Hello there. We need that. We need that one. Hello there.
We
The
do. I
Obi-Wan.
have it actually.
Yeah,
I can add it. I have it.
yeah. We need it. There's we keep saying there's a lot of like different sound bites we need in the episodes, and then we never like add them because
Yeah.
we're us and we're not consistent at all.
Yeah, that's fine. I will
We
add it for next time.
combined we have one brain cell between us, so that's what we got going on.
I have it in our files for the gaming channel, but
Mm,
I don't have it like when I guess I could plug my thing in and do it now, but it's
it's
gonna be
whatever.
distracting. It's
It's
whatever.
okay.
We'll do it later. But anyway, yes, I have it. I will add it. Um, but yeah, we're back. We took a little week off because we needed it.
Mm-hmm.
But we are back in your ear holes once again, invading them like brainworms.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, that's all I'm gonna say about that right now. Hi, we're a podcast. I'm Nikki. That's Amanda. Say hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
And we're just two neurodivergent best friends traveling the neuroverse together because we're living in a neurotypical world and we are not neurotypical girls. This week, it's my turn to
Mm-hmm.
hit you with some factoids and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna throw it at you here in just a second. But
And,
before
and
we
and like and
do,
like you guys, this is the first I'm hearing it. Like I'm
yeah,
we she originally we have like an Excel spreadsheet that we like a Google sheet that we share, and she originally had it on there. But we decided that even though when it's the person's turn, um we'll fill it in after the episode because we kind of wanted it to be a surprise sort of
mhm,
thing, so they don't know. It's kind of like a I'm learning along with you type of thing.
yeah, yep. But before we do, we started off this whole thing using the word like comorbidity, which I've heard a lot in the medical space, but I'm actually finding the more that I've done like research on topics and things that the word that I'm seeing used more often, and I feel like is one easier to say and two just sounds better overall, is co-occurring condition. And that might be much easier for someone to understand anyway. So we're going to start using that term because I feel like it's probably the one that is best used and it's probably the one that's most correct at the moment. So, co occurring condition episode for you. We are going to talk today about sleep.
Hmm.
She's
Which
like, rude.
which is very timely because I did not get any last night, and so Nikki texted me earlier. Like I texted her like it was like before 7 a.m. and
My thought was when I saw the timestamp, either you had a good day where you properly fell asleep at a decent hour for you, which was probably like 1 a.m., but between like 1 and 2 a.m., and woke up around 8-ish, 8 something ish, like 7, 8 a.m., and had like a decent few hours of sleep. Or you just didn't sleep at all.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
the latter, which yeah,
I figured.
yep, there's I'm fine, I'm fine.
You're not, but it's okay.
Yeah, and so I need the password to one of our accounts or her account technically, and she messaged it to me, and I literally saw it and just promptly went, just went right to sleep, and then woke up about like like an hour and a half later, and she was like, "Oh, when do you want to record?" I'm like, "Oh shit, oops, yeah, in half an hour's fine." I feel fine
Oh,
now. I
well.
just like I've been trying to. I needed to reset my sleep
Mm.
schedule, which is
We're
something
going to talk about that.
yeah, I had to reset it, which I know like I don't know if that's really a thing like reset because
It
like
is.
okay because I don't know why this is
Spoilers.
as a before we get into like this is a really weird thing like I like little trivia bits which I mean obviously like you might if you listen long enough you might know that but like I like little trivia bits and like as a kid like a kid up until like maybe mid teenager age every year my mom would get me a Guinness Book of World Records and I remember one in particular where the world record for longest like someone staying up for the longest time was 10 days and all he needed was 14 hours of sleep to reset his to like be fine. But now the Guinness Book of World Record does not acknowledge any if you're basically trying to go for that, trying to break the record, they will not acknowledge it because it's obviously that can kill you to not go.
Yeah.
So I think the record was 10 days, but then all he needed was 14 hours of sleep to get back to normal, and then he was fine. But
Which, I mean, probably way easier for a dude to do than a girl because this does have a lot to do with the hormones and the things, and theirs are just not as finicky as ours are sometimes.
lucky
Or folks
bitches.
with higher testosterone levels
Yeah.
than anything, I should say, don't have as hard of a time sometimes with these things than us,
I mean, it might explain
people
me
with the estrogens could have.
because I do have like a higher than like PCOS and everything. Like I do have a higher than normal testosterone. So like
Yeah,
for a cisgendered woman,
right.
sign film at birth is that what I that is what I am.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the deeper voice, the stupid hair that doesn't belong anywhere. But yeah, yep. So before I'll stop interrupting you if you want to get into it. Because
Yeah, it's gonna be
obviously,
a long episode.
yeah, because obviously this like I said, this is very timely for me. I mean, like this is timely for my life all the time. So this is just a thing I've been dealing with since probably high school.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about it. Okay, let's get
Yeah,
into it, and then we can do
let's
some catch
go.
up and stuff on the other side of this
Sure.
when we get there. All right, so I wanted to kind of start out by like taking it down to like the fucking foundation here and getting some like proper sleep information, like specifically around like the stages of sleep. Like you hear a lot about REM and non-REM and like I feel like that shit gets thrown around a lot, but like do we actually understand what those cycles are? What do they mean? How do they work? How do they present in our bodies? What are they for? So I kind of wanted to start with like the basics of what a sleep cycle looks like, what sleep patterns are, and go from there. So I will always we will have sources cited in the show notes if you would like to find this information. This first bit is going to come from the Cleveland Clinic. So we're going to start with letting y'all know, and I need to move my microphone because I'm going to be reading over here so that I'm not speaking away from it. What is non-REM sleep? So there's two kinds of stages, right? I'm going to use the word stages a lot so that I don't get you confused. There's REM and non-REM sleep. Okay. I'm going to talk about non-REM first because it's the one that occurs first.
This is the one that they haven't lost their religion yet. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. That was good. I'm kind of tired myself, so this is going to be interesting. And also, if this shit makes legitimately no sense and it seems a little out of order, I realized up until a certain point in my notes, which was me being almost done, that I did all of these unmedicated because I forgot to take my meds this morning, and I compiled all of this morning. And there was a particular sentence in there. It was like, don't use stimulants or drugs 2 hours before bed. When I saw drugs, I was like, shit, I forgot to take my medicine. Okay, anyway, non-REM sleep. Here we go. There are actually 3 stages of non-REM. So stage 1 is the lightest stage of sleep, and you enter this right after you fall asleep. Usually lasts only a few minutes, and it makes up about 5% of your sleep time. So stage 2 is still light sleep, but it's deeper than stage 1. And during this stage, your brain waves slow down and have noticeable pauses between short, powerful bursts of electrical activity. Experts think those bursts are your brain organizing memories and information from the time you spent awake. It accounts for about 45% of your sleep time, the most of any stage, and you'll go through multiple rounds of stage 2 non-REM sleep. And usually each one is longer than the last. And then there are, hold on, stage 3. Mouse? Excuse me? I'm trying to be a professional and
the mouse is asleep. It's in REM.
I know. Oh my God, my mouse was dead out. No, it's probably in stage 3 non-REM. Here we go. You ready? Because stage 3 non-REM is the deepest stage of non-REM sleep and takes up about 25% of your sleep time in adults. But babies and children need more of this. The older you get, the less stage 3 non-REM you will need. Pause.
And for anyone that is wondering, like REM it is rapid eye movement.
I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, because like we're saying the acronym a lot, so I'm like, just REM is rapid eye movement. Just
yeah,
that's what that means.
Yeah, it's in the notes. I swear I was going to explain it. Um, what did I say? Oh,
Stage
the
3.
older you get,
Mhm.
the less stage 3 non-REM sleep you need. Uh, this is very important because if you don't get enough of stage 3, you cannot wake up feeling rested. You could sleep for hours and hours and hours and it won't matter. You're not going to feel like you got any sleep at all. That's why your body automatically tries to get as much stage 3 into your sleep period as early as possible. During this stage, your brain waves are slow. Fuck, mouse. Sorry, but strong. Your body takes advantage of this very deep sleep stage to repair injuries and reinforce your immune system. Because stage 3 non-REM sleep is so deep, it's hard to wake someone up from it. If they do not wake up, or sorry, hold on. If they do wake up, they'll probably have sleep inertia, a state of confusion or mental fog. After stage 3 non-REM, your body moves into stage 2, which is the gatekeeper of REM sleep. So here we go. REM, or rapid eye movement sleep, is the stage of sleep where most dreams happen. Its name comes from how your eyes move behind your eyelids while you're dreaming. During REM sleep, your brain activity looks very similar to brain activity when you're awake. REM sleep makes up about 25% of your total time asleep, and your first REM cycle is usually the shortest. It lasts about 10 minutes, and each one that follows is longer than the last one, up to an hour. When you fall asleep, you typically enter non REM stage 1 and then cycle between non REM stages 2 and 3. After that, you go into REM sleep and start dreaming. After the first REM cycle, you start a new sleep cycle and go back into stage 1 or 2, and the cycle starts over. Um, one cycle normally lasts about 90 to 120 minutes before another one begins. Most people go through 4 or 5 cycles, assuming they get a full 8 hours of sleep. So, how many cycles you do depends on how many hours of sleep you get. Makes sense. Questions, concerns, thoughts? Are you frozen? Oh
Hello?
no.
Hello? Can you
Can you
not
hear
hear me?
me? No.
Yeah,
I
I can
couldn't
hear you.
first. You was frozen. You was frozen.
Oh. Oh, oops. Um uh anyway, so I have always thought that like REM sleep, like I mean, I knew about this because I found out about it like probably within the past couple of years, but like up until like the past couple of years, I always like every time like I hear like I would hear like REM sleep, it would seem like that was like your deepest sleep, like whenever
Yeah.
because like whenever you like obviously uh it's like when you see in movies or TV shows when someone's like eyeballs are moving like underneath their eyelids, it's like oh they're dreaming. It's kind of like when a dog is like kicking their leg or something, like oh you can tell that person's dreaming. And to me, like dreaming is the deepest sleep, like in my mind. Like I know it's not, but like I know now, but like in my mind, it's like oh well obviously that's like your brain obviously the most relaxed, the most like obviously it's not relaxed because it's going through the motions of dreaming and your activity is your brain activity like you said is as if it's you're awake. um but I wonder if like that's also why I don't feel I've always wanted to do like a sleep study just to see like what my brain activity is because I've done like those things where I wore like a smartwatch like a Fitbit
Mm-hmm.
and had it to where and saw like the cycle of oh this is where you're probably in your deepest sleep because it's based on your breathing and your heart rate and stuff. But I've always like been kind of curious like what my brain activity is because I feel like I have dreams that last the entire night. And I know like time is different in dreams. What feels like 8 hours could be like maybe an hour in real
Mm-hmm.
time type of thing. But like I will wake up and like still be like half consciously in the dream and I'll just roll back over and go right back into the dream. Like I maybe it's like that way. That's why I don't feel rested. Because they say like a lot of people don't dream, a lot of people don't dream in color, a lot of people don't um like the average dream is like a minute long or something like that. And it's but
Yeah.
I feel
In
like
real
mine
life.
lasts for
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like mine lasts for hours. So it's almost like an inception type of moment. But
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe that's why like I don't feel very well rested all the time because I feel like my most of my nighttime like sleep schedule is with REM sleep instead of the non-REM deep sleep where you get the most rest.
Yeah, that's possible. It's possible. I did not dig that far. Again, this is, even though this is a bigger episode, this is not all there is to possibly know about this.
Like there's little scientists that talk, like, just study
Right.
sleep, and even they are like, well, we don't know why we dream. We don't really
Right.
understand like sleep cycles
What the
that
point is
well.
biologically, of
Yeah.
the dream. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's bring it on back to our people. What does this have to do with neurodivergent folk? I asked the old Google a question. I said, how common are sleep disorders in neurodivergent people? And you know what? It's a whole ass problem over here. It's a whole
Mm-hmm.
ass problem. Sleep problems in autistic patients range from about 32 to 71.5%.
It's a big range.
That's a big old range, especially when you're talking about insomnia. And an estimated 25 to 50% of people with ADHD report having sleep issues. In general, sleep issues affect about 86% of people with intellectual disabilities of all kinds. So, if you have some sort of intellectual disability, you fall under that umbrella, which could be a myriad of things. You are potentially 86% more likely to have sleep issues than people who have neurotypical brains. We were wired to not sleep right.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's an issue, right? And we're going to get into why does this happen for us? Why is that an issue? Are you shocked by that statistic before I move on?
No, because every time like my the person that prescribes my ADHD medication, like I do like a every 3 months, like I'm check up with her, and every time, and I granted this is probably just like her battery of questions she asks everybody, but she always asks, and how are you asleep? And so I know she's asking because, like, I'm assuming it has to do with the medication that I'm taking, but it's also like, and so I told her, I'm like, well, I mean, my sleep has always been off even before taking the medication. And then she always offers like, well, I can prescribe something. I'm like, I don't want to take something that like if I get tired enough, like, or if I get to the point where I absolutely need to be like fall asleep and I can't, but I feel like I can't, I will take something like an allergy pill or Dramamine or something, which I know is like, I'm just basically using the side effect of those two things to fall asleep. But I don't know why, I just don't want to take like a prescribed sleeping pill. And I've tried melatonin does not work. It gives me crazier dreams, it gives me restless leg syndrome, it does not work on me. And so it's like, it's almost like, it's not like it's like I'm scared about being like habit forming. It's just I can't really explain my reasoning of like, no, I don't want to take a prescribed like a nighttime pill. I just don't. Because normally most of the time I'd forget to take it on time anyway, and then I would just wake up groggy and just pissed off. So
Yeah. Which I get, but you said something important there, which is timing, and we will get into it. And the fact that melatonin doesn't work for everyone. And there is going to be a list of things of like what we can do about this later on. It is one of those where it's like, take what you want, fuck off with the rest, right? Because some of this shit just won't work for you, and that's just how this is. But let's get into why do we struggle so much? Like, why are we so much more likely to experience sleep problems? So this next bit comes from neurodivergentinsights.com, one of our favorite sources. It will be in there. They have specific options for like just ADHD and sleep, just autism and sleep. This is like a synopsis of both. So we can struggle with sleep for a multitude of reasons. Co-occurring conditions like anxiety, depression, and GI issues, sensory sensitivities that keep the body agitated and prevent relaxation, less REM sleep for ADHD and autistic people in general. So, like, in general, we just get less REM sleep for some reason. So, I don't know why we do. Again, that would be a whole episode in itself. But it is scientifically studied and seems to be well known that and well repeatable that most ADHD and autistic people actually experience less REM sleep. So I think it's more about, not necessarily more about having more of one cycle than another, but it's important to have a completion of a cycle in general. And I don't know that we get through the first stages quick enough or in the proper way to be able to get to REM sleep in general. So if like we don't get through to get to sleep to like stage 2 and 3 and then cycle back, we can't get to REM. So like it's harder to get there, therefore there's less of it. Avoidance of sunlight during the day due to light sensitivity, which can lead to disruption of circadian rhythm. Also, some people just don't like fucking going outside. Okay. Like, I'm one of those people. I have heat intolerance issues. In the summer, you won't catch me outside. How about that? You just won't. You can catch me in the house, minding my own goddamn business, because I will be blown up like a damn balloon. Iron deficiencies and dopamine abnormalities are the presumed cause of restless leg syndrome, which can be a reason for not sleeping very well. Co-occurring breathing related sleep disorders like sleep apnea can cause this issue. If this mouse don't stop fucking me up, I'm gonna throw it through the window. Anyway, small freak out over. Genetic mutations impacting melatonin secretion and regulation, circadian rhythm issues, and then harmful associations with bedtime, which was interesting. And I didn't get too far into it in this because, again, that could be an entire episode in itself. But there was an interesting tidbit on this site. So just click this link if you want to read further about that. That basically, the longer you lay there in bed and you struggle to fall asleep, you can start to, like, over time associate going to sleep or going to your bed with anxiety, knowing that you're not going to get any sleep when you go lay down, and then it just starts to create like a cycle and a pattern, and eventually like you've subconsciously started to relate your bed or bedtime with this negative thing, which means like I'm not going to fall asleep, so why even try, right? And then it just becomes part of an issue. And then I wanted to dive into like circadian rhythm for a minute, because what the fuck is that, right? Like I've heard it before. I feel like it's something that is probably more widely known, but let's define it anyway. So this is going to come from Cleveland Clinic. So if you want to click that link and do some clicking around in there, you can. Your circadian rhythm makes sure that your body's processes perform optimally at different points during a 24-hour period. Scott, like this part, we're learning Latin. Circadian in Latin means around or approximately, aka circa. And then a day or diem. So, circadian is where we got that. Which, yay, Latin. Your circadian rhythm coordinates the physical and mental systems throughout your body. For instance, your endocrine system controls your hormones like cortisol for energy expenditure, and your digestive system creates proteins to match the timing of your meals. Your circadian rhythm connects to an internal clock in your brain. This internal clock is located in a tiny cluster of cells known as the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN for short. The SCN is in a part of your brain called the hypothalamus. Throughout the day, internal clock genes in the SCN send signals to control the activity throughout your body. The SCN is sensitive to light, and light influences the signals that the SCN uses to coordinate circadian rhythms in your body. That's why circadian rhythms closely relate to day and night. So, get your ass in the sunlight, even if it's through your window. Okay, like you need it. Your body needs to learn. Or if it's gloomy outside, right? Like even just stepping outside when it's gloomy is still good. But if you can't, turn on all your lights, right? Like turn on every light in your fucking house.
because even
make it bright in there.
Like there's a reason why they say like don't use like cell phone, like don't watch like don't use a screen before falling asleep.
Yeah.
Because like not only because obviously like your brain it stimulates your brain activity, but it's also because like it's the light source. Because especially like I feel like back in the day before like the invention of electricity, they probably like you ever see like those movies where I never understood, like besides people like on farms, I'm talking about people like in cities and stuff, like how did they just wake the fuck up without lights, without like electricity, without alarm clocks, but it's also like they probably just slept better back then. Like not obviously
Yeah.
not everybody. They probably, they still had neurological disorders back then too. But it's also like they just
There wasn't as
would
much light pollution and
yeah,
confusion between night and day.
they just were able to wake up like, oh, the sun's up, I'm up. The sky's
Mhm.
awake, so I'm awake,
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
so it's like, and obviously, you know, that's why it's like I always like kind of joke that like, well, I'm just descended from the hunt, like the whoever the hunter gatherer was of the tribe, of the group, of the clan, whatever, that was like the night watch person. That was me. Okay,
Yeah.
that was my job. I took third shift, so that's my
Right.
ancestors.
Now, we could get into an entire conversation and probably a whole nother episode about like day people versus night people, right? And like maybe your circadian rhythm is just set differently, but that doesn't make it wrong, right? Like it just, for our society, maybe it's not ideal, but like you said, back in the day, you would have been relied upon
Hmm.
heavily, right? Like because you could stay up all night and then sleep during the day and be fine. Um, but I think that is again a whole nother episode in itself,
Yes.
but very interesting. And I would love to actually learn more about that. Okay. So that's just some of the reasons. Okay. This not an exhaustive list, as we've said. So why do we need good sleep, especially as neurodivergent people? Okay. What's the difference? Why is it so much more important for us than it might be for neurotypicals? It's important for everyone, no matter who you are. It is important to get good sleep, period, end of story. But it seems to have a larger effect on us because we aren't wired to get good sleep. Therefore, we're going to have consequences for that. So let's talk about it. During sleep, we release chemicals called neurotransmitters. These chemicals help regulate our mood, aid in learning and growth, and control our sleep wake cycle. For example, when we're sleeping, our brains release serotonin, which helps regulate our mood and makes us feel good, acetylcholine, which is important for memory consolidation, learning, and attention, melatonin, which regulates the sleep wake cycle and helps us feel sleepy, growth hormone, which helps the body grow and repair. When we don't get enough sleep, our brains don't get the chance to release these chemicals. When we're sleep deprived, we're more likely to feel grumpy, anxious, and irritable. Duh. Plus, it's harder for us to focus and learn new things, probably because all of these neurotransmitters were not released properly. Lack of sleep can lead to an increase in levels of cortisol throughout the day, which is a stress hormone that can contribute to feelings of anxiety and difficulty relaxing, and it also disrupts our circadian rhythm. So there's that circadian rhythm again. All right. So what the fuck, right?
Mhm.
Like, what do we do about this?
What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on? So what do we do about it, right? Or first of all, what do you have thoughts? Do you have thoughts about any of this, like about all the hormones of it all?
I mean, it makes sense. Because like I don't know, body chemistry is just fucking weird, right? It's just
Yeah.
it, the fact that these little like not microscopic, but little just tiny little things. You just have some like the 1% of you could be off some like off, and it's your entire day or life or whatever is ruined. Like it just
Yeah.
to me, it's just fascinating about how the tiniest thing can just completely change everything. Like
Yeah.
your personality, your like you said, your sleep schedule, your how react. I will say in my personal experience, I don't feel like I get particularly irritable when I don't get sleep. Like I don't feel like I'm like because I know people that if they're tired, they're pissy. I won't
Hi.
name. Yeah. Well, I wasn't. It's actually not you that I was thinking of, and I doubt he'll listen to this. But Scott, Scott, I love you, but like
Scott does listen to our show.
I know, but it's also like he won't. I feel like he'll probably agree because like when we were in Spain, like he would be the one to wake me up. Like I would set an alarm too, but like because he's way more of a morning person. Like he'll 100% say that, and that's just a fact. But it's also like if he did not get enough sleep, he was pretty irritable. Where I was like, if I was irritable, it's not because of the lack of sleep. It's just for other reasons, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Where it's just
I would second that.
yeah, I feel like like when and we can talk more about this on the other side, but it's like whenever we were driving, you know, I didn't get any sleep when we were driving down to Florida, and you could be like I said, you not only could you not tell based on like how I was driving or how I was acting, but it's also like I didn't seem irritable at all. So
No.
it's like
No, not at all.
I don't get irritable for lack of sleep. I just get irritable for other reasons. Very
Yeah.
very minute small reasons sometimes, but it's like I don't really get so but I get it. Like when I'm, like my mom's the same way. Like she doesn't get irritable with lack of sleep because she has like the similar like sleeping pattern than I do, where you know we stay up late. We could thrive off very little sleep, that sort of thing. Um, like I wish I was one of those people that could sleep normally. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I would feel a lot better just in general because like sleeping problems can obviously lead to depression and everything because that's why they said like you need a good mattress, you need to have a good environment to sleep in and all this stuff. And because
Mhm.
sleep is so important, so vital, it's probably one of the most important things. Like besides like diet and like activity, you know, like not exercise like exercise, but you know what I mean. Like some people can't
Physical
exercise.
activity. Yeah.
Yeah, physical
Mhm.
activity and like diet, like sleep is probably like, you know, number 3 in that.
Yeah. Well,
Well, hi again.
technical difficulties abound.
Mhm.
Uh, this is incredibly late now, but it's
Yeah, we're
fine.
about a week or like almost a week after recording whatever you heard before that transition. Uh
Yeah.
because if you didn't hear like last week when we were actually recording was the day that Google Cloud services went down, so that
Yeah.
means which is also part of the service that we use. And so it went down like as we were recording, and we were like, "What the hell is going on?"
We
So
were shitting bricks because we
yeah,
were done. We were done. We were
yeah, we were
getting ready to
done.
go to fun and fuckery.
Hmm.
And then she just disappeared from the call. And then it wouldn't let me save it wouldn't let me end the recording, wouldn't let me do anything. And I was shitting bricks. I'm like, we just did an entire episode. I'm gonna completely fucking record this. But Amanda and all her genius was like, let me email the company and see if they can figure out how to save what we already had. And by some fucking grace of whatever deity you believe in, they did. They saved it. And
They saved
so
most of it. They saved
most of
about
it,
45 minutes of it. So of the
which is
hour
fine.
recording we did. So it's like it's saving us 45 minutes of time.
Yeah, it saved the meat and potatoes, okay?
Yes.
That's what we needed. It saved the meat and potatoes. The gravy was what's missing, and that's totally fine. We can add the
Hmm.
gravy back, and that's what we're about to do. We're about to add the gravy back. So the portion that I am going to start off with, that is going to be cut from the last episode because even though it's there, you can't really hear it. It sounds like I'm not completing my sentences. We're going to start with what can we do about trying to get better sleep, okay? Uh I want to just kind of end it with this, and then we'll hit you with the fun and fuckery and pray to Jesus that this splices together properly in editing and it should be fine. If I know anything about audio editing in my, I think, combined total like 4.5 years of podcasting, I should be able to get this done. I
Hmm.
have the faith.
Hmm.
Let's figure this out. Let's get going. Okay. So, what can we do about trying to get better sleep? We can possibly start tracking our sleep cycles and identify the things that might be keeping us up at night. So, if you are a person who likes to track your patterns, and you're a very analytical person, this might be a good helpful thing for you. Kind of keep maybe a little journal or like a notes app thing on your phone that just says like, maybe when you fell asleep, when you woke up, how you felt when you woke up, what do you think might have kept you up at night? Like, was it a little bit warm in your room? Did your pajamas not feel right while you were sleeping or whatever, right? If you're a person like Amanda who goes long stints of time without getting any sleep, you could try doing a sleep reset. So all of this with a caveat to say, please don't do this thing if you work a job where you operate heavy machinery, drive a vehicle, or are responsible for people's lives in any capacity. Okay, please don't do this. But you could try a sleep reset, which is just kind of getting through the day without a nap, without caffeine, and then at a good time for you to be going to sleep, like get as far as you possibly can in your day. Like if you can get to like 7:30, 8 o'clock whatever, like a decent time of night to go to sleep, take a melatonin or some sort of sleep aid or something like right before, about 30 minutes to an hour before you're ready to fall asleep, and let that help kind of reset your clock. Okay. That's what those sleep aids are for. They're not to like just knock you out and make you sleep. It's meant to be used, again, consult your doctor, but like they're meant to be used to help reset your cycle. Some people literally can't sleep without them. My children, almost every single night, unless they've like literally ran themselves ragged all day long, will most likely need them. They just don't, I don't think they produce the level of melatonin they need to just turn their little brains off and go to bed. So they use one almost every night. I used to, I do not anymore. My body's clock kind of figured itself out because I started waking up about the same time every day, going to bed about the same time every night. I also take meds that make me just, a certain medication I take makes me a little bit sleepy, so it helps. But it's not like a sleep aid, but you get it. You get the whole thing. Establish like a bedtime routine. So things that you only do before you're going to go to bed or like in preparation to go to bed. So if you're a skincare girly like me, make this your nighttime skincare routine. Keep a couple of products that are like strictly for nighttime use that you only use at night. For me, it's my actives. I use an adapalene gel, which is a retinoid. It helps with, the acne and the scarring and the very fine lines and the wrinkles. It's like the gateway drug to like tretinoin and like bigger actives that really do a lot more to your skin. So I've started actives. So that's what I do at night. And I can only use those at night because I don't like to use that and then put sunscreen on. Because when you use an active, it makes you much more, susceptible to burning and shit. And we are in the summer. So that's a nighttime only thing. Something like that. Do something that you only do at night, kind of start to teach your mind and body that when I
Yeah,
do
something relaxing too. So
yeah, something relaxing too.
because also
For me, skincare is relaxing. For other people, it might be stressful as fuck. But
yeah, because and we're saying this to people who are probably not good at routines. Like I am not good at
yeah,
a routine. Like I am a very routine person, but it's also like like she said earlier, I'm one of those people that has a hard time getting to sleep. I just, no matter what kind of routine I have, I just have a hard time getting to sleep, but try to avoid screens, stuff like that.
yeah. So, something else is like limiting your sensory disturbances. So, like, if you know that like you don't like a certain kind of like feeling of fabric, like don't sleep with that. Like if you need to sleep naked one night, do that. Try sleeping naked. Some people do really well doing it. Okay. Sometimes you just the way your clothes and your sheets and your blankets are reacting to each other might be pissing your body off enough to be like, we can't do this. So
Mm-hmm.
try that. Some nights I have to because I'm just having a sensory problem and everything doesn't feel right. So I do. Makes my husband happy, but whatever. Um, but keep your room cool as well. My polar bear ass is always, my house is always set to like 66 or 67. I know the shock, the horror, the awe, the electric bill. I don't really care. I can't function or sleep if it's fucking hot in here. So that is one of the things it's a sacrifice I am willing to make to be able to sleep well and not blow up like a balloon. Even Amanda's lizard ass. I almost said Amanda.
Amanda.
Amanda, please. Even Amanda's lizard ass might benefit from keeping her house a little colder at night to get a little bit better sleep because when it's cold, you're like, I want to cuddle up in the blankies. And then before you know it, you're nice and cozy. And then you're going to the night night. Okay. Like it's tricks. We got to trick this brain of ours. It's a beast. We got to get it. We got to be smarter than it
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Okay, make your room as dark as you possibly can within your comfort level. This is something that I've struggled with for years. Used to sleep with like blaring bright ass television because I needed the light and the noise. Now we've sort of made a compromise where the noise is quite low and the TV is set to like the darkest possible settings at night. We have like a custom setting for it. So we just turn it on that custom setting every night and it makes the TV damn near black. So I get a tiny, tiny bit of glow, but it's basically dark in our room. It's something I've worked on for a very long time, but just don't push too hard because if you're someone who's genuinely scared of the dark, then you're not going to fucking sleep anyway. But just maybe work on getting your room a little darker and darker. Even our squirrel ass brains, who most of the time have an opposite reaction to stimulants, therefore they chill us out, they don't make us speed. because of how it affects our bodies, even us, it's good to avoid those about 2-ish hours before bed. If you're someone like me, where that shit'll just linger in my fucking system for even longer than that, avoid it even before that. I try to quit caffeine around like 5, 6 o'clock if I can. Sometimes I don't. That's fine. But I'm also a sleepy bitch. I don't really struggle anymore with getting sleep. It's pretty rare. I'm fucking tired all the time, thanks to chronic illness. But again, if you're not, try this. Like Amanda said earlier, try to avoid the electronics and the screens. The bright ass light tells your brain that it's time to not be asleep. You know, we got to trick that brain. No exercise within 2 hours of sleeping. My husband is a fucking culprit of this. He loves to exercise at night and then bitches that he didn't get no rest. And I'm like, that's because you're waiting until fucking 8:30, 9 o'clock at night to go do your workout. And then you are
Which
up for
wakes your
like
body
three,
up. Which wakes your
yeah,
body
wakes your
up.
body up. And so, like, even if you're tired when you do your workout, I always feel more energized after a workout. I could be dead ass tired and do a workout and have more energy. And then
Yeah,
this
it's
man, it just won't
endorphins and
sink into his
stuff.
head.
Mhm.
Right. It just won't sink in. But I can't tell him
But
nothing.
then he takes a
It's
nap.
whatever.
It's like if you didn't take a nap,
Yeah.
then maybe
That's what
you
I'm saying.
do
If you replace your workout with the nap, then we'd be fine.
yeah.
Not me shitting on my husband on my fucking podcast. Sorry, babe. Just kidding. We love you. He really is a saint, though. Like for real. I don't deserve him. Keep going. Don't watch the clock when you're laying there. Okay. Don't watch the clock. If you like get into bed and you're not falling asleep and you're like, I know I've been laying here forever. How long have I been laying here? Like, don't do all that. Don't watch the clock. Don't watch the time tick down. If you're not tired, get up and get out of bed. Okay. Get up and get out of bed. Don't lay there for too long. Don't watch the clock. You could do a sound machine. You don't even have to purchase one. Get on the good old
Sound
YouTube.
apps. There's also
Yep.
apps. Like I
Apps.
use a sleeping app where not all the time, but you can like make certain settings on it to make your own sleeping sounds. Like I
Yeah.
use like heavy rain and like distant thunder, and you can adjust the volume of each individual sound, and you can like there's traffic noises, there's like jungle noises, like crickets and stuff like that. There's and they're free, so there's tons of things you could do, and you can set them to be for like an hour, 4 hours,
Mhm.
8 hours. So
Yeah.
just
However long.
look at the App Store or the Play Store, and you can find something
Yep.
like that.
And then the last few things is you could maybe try a weighted blanket if you like that, like light pressure on you. Blackout curtains. That's not something I can do. I need the light to come in through my curtains in the morning to like tell my brain it's time to wake up, or I will pull an Amanda and sleep for 48 straight hours. So, like, I will. I have to have those cues of light and dark. My brain needs it. Or I will just decide. That's why when it's fucking gloomy out for days, I'm tired. I will stay
Yeah.
tired. I will be tired. Like my brain needs the cues. It really does.
Whereas
Not
for me,
every
like rainy days make me want to sleep because like if when I use a sleeping like a sound machine, I always use rain because it's just so soothing.
yeah.
So anytime it rains, it's like, well, it's nap time.
It's like, damn it, we've tricked our brains too much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, anytime it
It's
actually
like a
rains, it's time for bed.
Pavlov response. So yeah,
Yes, yes. Earplugs, if you're one of those people that needs dead ass silence, could not be me. Could not be me, but it might help you. Sleep mask, again, could not be me. Can't have that shit on my face. Even the nice ones that like they're made with the little thing that like makes it sit off your face. Can't have it on my face, but it might help you. And then finally, if this is like a serious issue and you've literally tried everything and there's nothing that helps you fucking sleep, and it doesn't seem to matter how much melatonin, or if you've tried all of the cycles and the getting the light and the waking up and all the fucking things, right? You've talked to a doctor and everything's not working still. There is actually cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. And I did not know this. And I think that's cool as shit because you know me, I've been in therapy for like the last, I don't know, 8.5, 9 years. I still go all the time. Sometimes I have to go weekly, like right now, because trauma is a bitch. But it's important. It's important. If you've lasted longer than 10 years on this planet, you need therapy. Okay. You need therapy. I'm a firm believer. You don't get, no one gets out of this life untraumatized. That could be causing you to have insomnia problems, and maybe you don't even realize that that's what the issue is. So working with a cognitive behavioral therapist that can maybe help you work through those things. Ask your healthcare team, your medical professionals, if you currently have a therapist, ask them if they know how to do this, if this is something that they are trained in. If not, ask them to refer you to somebody who is.
You can do a
Try it.
sleep study type of thing. Like if maybe it's not necessarily that you have a hard time falling asleep, but that you have a hard time staying asleep, they can see
Stay asleep.
why. So
Yeah. My God, talk to your doctor. Like, for real, if this is a serious issue, like, talk to your doctor. Let them know. Like, I literally can't sleep. I never sleep. You might have some sort of chemical imbalance that needs to be checked or something going on. Like, maybe you have severe sleep apnea and you don't know, and that's what's keeping you up at night and you just don't realize it. Like, there could be things going on. That's what sleep studies are for. There are whole ass doctors that this is their whole job is to study sleep, right? Researchers, it's their whole job to study sleep. So there are people out there, there's things out there, go and get some help for it, okay? We are big advocates of the science, okay? The science. And yes, I'm a woo-woo bitch, all right? But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you have severe insomnia that you should go put a crystal under your pillow and it'll make you go night-night.
yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that, okay? I'm not going to tell you that. As woo-woo as I am, I'm never going to sit here and tell you that the crystal going to fix your problems. Go to the fucking doctor, okay? Please go to the fucking doctor. Please. If you want to add woo-woo stuff on top of going to medical professionals, fine. Do you, boo. But go to the goddamn doctor. That is our disclaimer, okay? Go to the goddamn doctor. Are you ready for fun and fuckery? Because I sure am.
Yep. Let's get to it, and hopefully, it doesn't break this time. So
hopefully it stays this time. Hopefully it doesn't die when I go to hit the fucking button like it did last time. Oh, the trauma. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Ready? All right. It worked.
Yes.
Thank God.
Which is what happened last time. She went to click the button, and I was still here, and then she's like, we're like, hello? Why isn't the button not working? And then I disappeared, and then, so I messaged her, I'm like, did StreamYard crash for you? And then every time we reload, it would be like, no healthy upstream. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And then we found out that the whole website was down, so we thought it was just StreamYard, but then I saw articles that it was like all of Google Cloud services. So I'm like,
just
damn.
Took a shit. Just noped out of fucking existence for a little while.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? Let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about Binky today.
Yeah, The Sims.
You ready to talk about Binky today?
Mm-hmm.
This is the sensational adventures of Jeremy. Of sensational adventures of the Chronicles of Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Fellowship of Jeremy. I'm sorry, the Fellowship of Jeremy. Well, I'm gonna get that right one of these days. Sensational adventures of the Fellowship of Jeremy. Okay.
Yep.
So if you haven't been following along, I'll give you a tiny preface. We have taken our old like season 1 into season 2 thing we were doing of the Chronicles of Jeremy, which was an AI story that turned into its own entity.
Basically, one of our AI stories like mentioned
Grew
Jeremy
legs.
looks like a cat, and we're like, what? And so we kind of just built upon that and just made this whole world and made a whole cast of characters. And so, and then Niki decided, she's like, I want to make these people in The Sims. And so I was like, you go for it. And so I made her like an Excel spreadsheet so she can like make her own little character sheets and everything. And so that's what we've been doing. And so we're trying to do like a character, like an update of a character each time. So
probably I think what's probably going to work out best so that you guys aren't getting bored of everything and that like every week is not Jeremy and every week is not a Mad Lib and every week is not whatever. I think we've decided on like our weeks that we don't have a Mad Lib or like a question to chat about, we're going to do a Jeremy update and talk about where they are now, right? Mm-hmm. So this week is Binky. And if you guys don't remember or you weren't around, in the story, Binky was another character's cat, who's actually his pet, okay? Even though this character was a goat.
Jeremy's cat, wasn't it?
No, it was Finnegan's cat.
It was Finnegan's. I keep on saying Jeremy's cat. Yeah, Finnegan's cat. And Finnegan the
Finnegan's cat,
painting goat, and so had a cat named Binky the Hardy. So
Binky the Hardy, and he got the Hardy later on in the story. But yes, he started out as Finnegan's like companion, friend, pet cat thing. Then they sort of evolved into his own character and kind of separated from Finnegan a little bit. And Finnegan fucked off and did his own thing. And Beaky kind of, ran with Jeremy a little more. So now, and in the where we are now of it all, Binky has a little family now because you know what? In the story, he was just the sweetest. He was the Hardy for a reason, right? Like he was the sweetest little thing. He always wanted to help everybody. He was just there to have a good old time, and he was big old sweetheart, big old softy. And
he's a helper,
He's a helper. Yeah, he's like
that's what he started out wasn't it? Like he was like a
yeah.
person that went out for quests, like got quest items and stuff for him.
He would go ahead of everyone and go ahead of Finnegan and like go collect important things for the quest that they would go on later. So he was like the helper companion person. So he is just a big old sweetheart. And he moved to Ravenwood with the rest of the gang. Okay, that's where they live in the Sims world, is Ravenwood. Moved there with the rest of the gang, bought him a nice plot of land. Okay. And he said he's done. He's done with the adventure life. Okay. He was done with it. He's like, I want to buy my plot of land. I want to get married. I want to have a family. I want to have horses, right? Like he wants to live the nice, simple life and just take care of animals and take care of his farm and his family and just live his life, right? And just enjoy it and be so fucking happy every day. Cause like, I don't think he could be sad. I don't think it's within him to just be a sad panda. He is just a happy, happy guy. So
happy guy. He's a happy guy. If you ever seen that video, the little dogs bouncing around, you know. That's his theme song.
Yes. So he met Asia, his partner, at the gym because he still be staying a gym rat. Okay. He do like to be working out. And they met at the gym.
And he's hardy, I think hardy, I think like buff,
Yeah, he's a big old boy. Okay, he's a big old boy. But he's not a big old boy in like a fluffy like bear kind of way. He's
like
a big
husky
old boy
kind of way.
in like a large American kind of way. Okay, like he's just built like a brick shit house. Okay, he's
think defensive
sturdy.
lineman type of thing.
Yes, he's like the wall you can't get through in the best fucking defensive lineman they have. Okay,
he's the tank,
big motherfucker.
Okay? He's
the tank. Yeah, he's the tank. He's huge. Okay, is large American. So he meets her at the gym. She is I don't have her character like fully fleshed out, so I'll give you not enough to have her own character sheet. I don't think. So I'll give you like a small synopsis of her. Maybe I will do a character sheet later. But she is a child care provider. She runs daycares. That's her thing. Okay. So she loves kids, but she's never been married. She's never had her own. They hit it off. And I mean, fast. This was like, they met. It was love at first sight. They're like, fuck the rest of the world. I only want you. And I mean, they were living together within like 3 months of dating and married by a year. Okay. Quick as shit. All right. They wasted 0 time. Then, like within 3 months of being married, she's knocked up. All right. She's pregnant. They're having baby number 1 and they can't be fucking happier about it. And then comes baby Gretchen.
Yay.
She's so cute. She looks just like her mother. I don't know what they did, but they did well on the genetics on that kid. She's so pretty. She's so cute. And she is the fucking happiest, most roly-poly, sweetest little shit. I've never seen it cry. I've never seen it be mad. It's just a happy little thing. As long as you're feeding it, holding it, or, like playing with, it's happy. Okay. It's happy little thing. And she is a daddy's girl. He's obsessed with her. Absolutely obsessed with her. He will go and like deal with her more than Asia will. Not that like Asia isn't a loving, devoted mom, because she totally is. But he would like rather do everything. He wants to take care of her. That's his baby. Okay.
And
he's like the best dad.
And if you're wondering where Gretchen came from, it's because I got the idea from when we were trying to figure out what, because we couldn't remember, like at least I couldn't remember exactly what Binky's backstory was, like when he exactly showed up in the Chronicles of Jeremy. And so then I found out like he started out fetching stuff
Yeah.
for Finnegan Gang, and I was like, oh, because she was like, Niki was like, what should I name the child? And I was like, okay, fetch, as in from Mean Girls, and it's Gretchen that says that's so fetch, and so
Yeah.
it also makes sense that she's a daddy's girl because like I think in me I haven't seen Mean Girls in a very long time, so I'm sorry I get this wrong, but Gretchen's character is the one that like her dad had like some like empire. I forgot what kind of like it was some food I think where so she was a daddy's girl because her dad was rich and everything, and so she loved her dad a lot, and so this makes sense.
Yeah. So we're trying to find like good reasons to give these kids a name that makes sense with the story, even if we have to really fucking reach for it. Okay.
Uh huh.
This was a reach. It was a big reach, but it's fine. Um, so they're obviously got their little family, and he does have 3 horses now. I do not remember their names. So the next time we do an update, I named them, but I don't remember what I named them
Maybe
because
put on
horse
your
names
little
are complicated.
maybe on your character sheet put like be like what are horse names, like put like get horse names so you don't forget.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Get horse
Because
names.
horse names, I've been watching like I've never been like a horse girl. It's not one of the things I've like was into. I never really got a bunch of horse stuff or anything, but I have been watching like Katie Van Slyke on Facebook. She owns
Yes.
like a horse farm in
Yeah.
Tennessee. And so I almost thought like I was like, will we pass her like farm and everything? But I think she doesn't live on the interstate because like from her videos, it looks like she lives off like a highway, but not like the interstate.
Mm,
So anyway, like so she'll explain they have a barn name and then like a show name.
yeah.
So and like the rules for a show name, like they have to be like a limit of like 11 characters or something like that, and they have to be
Yeah.
unique. So like so you could always have like a barn name, like what they would call them in everyday life, and then like a show name.
Yeah. So like I named them somewhere in between the two. So like
Yeah.
something that you could call them out of their show name, right? So like one of them is like think of it like Binky's American Pride or some shit like that, right? And
Yeah.
then we would call it Pride or call it America, something. Do you know what I mean? Something
Yeah,
like
because
that. That's
like
not
one
what
of
I
her
did, but
horses is like, and sometimes like the show name and the barn name do not have to like match at all. Like she
make
has like
match at
one
all.
horse,
Yeah.
like one of her horses is like Hot Pistol Annie at the show name, and then it's her. They call her Annie, but then they have like other names that have nothing to do with their show name. So it's whatever. You
Yeah.
can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
There's no rules. It's
I
you
did
know
name them, but to be very honest with you, I made this character sheet and then decided later on he was going to have horses and then forgot to add the horses when I did it. So like I said, he's definitely retired, right? He's no
mhm.
longer questing, he's no longer interested in whatever the fuck is
He took
going
the
on right
payout.
here.
Yeah, he took the payout from everything.
Yes, and he's done. Like he took his cut at the end of everything when it was all said and done. The money in the story, there's like a big thing that happens with Velvet's brother Vaughn, and he's a big snake in the grass. There was money that was paid out to be able to kill Jeremy. It was a fucking giant amount of money. They all split it. They're all living happily ever after. None of them ever have to worry about money ever again, right? And plus, Velvet's mama is still
The queen.
the queen. So
Mhm.
Jeremy's family's good, right? She's still loaded. But the rest of them, like they didn't really take as much because they got family money. They don't need it,
Yeah.
right? So they gave most of it to everybody else. So they're good. Ain't nobody hurting for cash here, whether they want to work or they don't. Okay. Ain't nobody hurting for cash. So he's retired. Country caretaker. Um, his traits are rancher, cheerful, love bug, and collector. So he still loves to collect shit. Okay.
Mhm.
He still be loving a good collection. He's got a lot of shit from his questing days.
He got a bit of the tism, you know. He just loves his collection.
Yeah. And most of it is like old, like artifacts and things. He does like history and shit like that. So like artifacts from his quests, and then anything, of course, to do with like horses and shit. His skills that he's maxed out on right now, of course, is parenting, because again, obsessed with that baby. Fitness, again, gym rat. And actually, before he met Asia, he was actually like working at the gym for a little while, but it didn't last very long because he's like, fuck this, I don't have to do this no more. I'm just going to be obsessed with her, right? And just, whatever. Cooking, fishing, loves to fish, guitar, and handiness. So he like there's this function in the game where you can actually get a tree house, but you have to build it. Like the Sims have to build it. So you have to put them on a task to build it. And I just thought it was the cutest thing ever because as much excuse you, dog? What are you doing?
It's not like she sneezed or shook herself.
She stepped on something and like knocked it over. Are you well? What's going on over here? You just gotta make an appearance, don't you, ma'am? Yeah. I'm sorry. Nobody paying attention to you. Sorry, doggo interruption. So they had to actually like build this tree house. So I had to max his handiness out, but I thought it was like a cute little thing to like put the tree house on his property for Gretchen, even though she's a baby, because like
she's gonna grow up,
Yeah, she's gonna grow up and like he's building it for her with his own hands, right? So like he's a handy guy and he built this with his own hands, like quite literally in the game. They had to build it with their own hands for the baby. So I think it's the cutest shit ever. This is probably the happiest. Like, not that Jeremy and Velvet aren't happy, but they're stressed the fuck out.
They have like what, 6 kids?
9,000 children.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like 6
million
kids.
children.
And so it's like, and so while they're capable of taking care of them, because like, but it's also like 6 kids is a fucking lot,
Oh my god, I don't even like playing it, to be honest with you.
I know that's anytime I play Sims, like I might give them one child, like I might make a child, but you can like make it in the Sims, like you can age a child up. Like if I never have played the Sims with like the babies in it, because like last time I really like fully played the Sims, like babies weren't in it. I don't think, like you just had children that you made, like in the character creation screen. But because like I don't want my own children, I don't want to take care of virtual children. So because there's always like a cheat, you can always like do like this, like it's like a kind of like a master cheat code thing where you can age the child up to like I'd probably age it to like a child, and then you can like set it to where they don't age up like naturally. Because I feel like Sims times goes by really quickly. So you sometimes have to like stop it.
Died once, and I was like, "Oh no, we're not doing that. She's not going to be an old lady. Like that ain't happening."
Yeah, you can like cancel their age up because it's like I know I want to like because like it almost seems like it lasts a year. It's like your sim like goes like a year in the Sims time basically. It's like they last like a year. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, so he's like my most happy, joyous, fun, like character set to play with. Finnegan is still gonna be the most like when I'm feeling saucy,
he's
and
the
I want
reality
to
show. He's the reality show character.
Yes, for sure. Especially with the drama between him and Freya, the unspoken love, right? Like between him and Freya, it's a whole thing, right? We're gonna get into it when we get into Freya's character sheet too, but this is just the happy when I'm just like I just want to be happy today and like pet some horsies and like make cute little kid
chill
things.
They're like your chill like chill one. They're like the when you put like a lo-fi like video, like when you want to listen to lo-fi versus when you want to listen to Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
Yes. Yeah, so this is really fun to play. I don't know, y'all. Like, there are plenty of people who listen to the show at this point. I don't know how many of you give a fuck about The Sims. But if you guys like want to see us do Sims content, we do have a gaming channel. I feel like we don't really ever talk about it on here, but we do. The gaming channel is live. It does take a little bit for us to like get new videos and shit out. We do have a lot of shit planned for it. But if you
had issues at first, because we had issues. Like my computer, because I play on like my PC, and I didn't realize that it made the files so large that like Niki's PC, like Niki's laptop, could not handle rendering them. because I didn't realize because I built my PC. It's like a gaming PC, and granted, it's not like extremely high end. It's probably like middle of the road PC.
But your
But
graphics card's obviously better
yeah,
than
my
mine.
graphics card is a lot stronger than Niki's, and it was recording at like 2500 versus Niki's like 1600 or whatever.
Yeah.
So like whatever the specs are, it was recording like 2 times stronger than Niki's computer, and I didn't realize it. So I had to do is I had to compress it down myself before I sent it to her, and I didn't think about doing that until way after we started the channel. I'm like, oh, I probably
until we were literally done
down.
recording Halo 1. Like we were done, we had done all of Reach, but we used my gameplay for Reach. But we used hers for Halo 1 because I don't want to always use my gameplay for everything. And like I think it was more visually interesting to use her gameplay for Halo 1. Literally recorded the entirety of the game, and then I couldn't edit it. And I tried using like a beefier editing software, and it was just outside of my depth, honestly. Like I'm not
too many
not
bells
a
and
professional
whistles
editor.
for us.
Yeah, it was too many bells and whistles. Like it would render them, but then I had issues exporting them, and I didn't know how to troubleshoot it. No matter how many videos I watched, it didn't seem to like work out. So I said, fuck it, and went back to the editing software that I could use. And I was like, we got to figure something out. And that's when she was like, let me compress it. So
yeah, and so what I did is I used my own Clipchamp, which is just the program that comes with Microsoft, like, on PC. So what I did is I uploaded my own videos into Clipchamp, and then exported them into like the 1920 by 1080 or whatever that resolution is, and so then sent it to her. So basically it turned like, for me, like what a 20 gig file into, like, that's what my computer would record it as, a
into
20
like a
gig
13
file
or 14
until even to like 4 or 5. It's so like that made it so then I would upload it to my Google Drive, and Niki would then download it, and then she's like, it worked. I'm like, okay, thank God. Which I was worried because it would take like 6 hours to upload to Google Drive because I don't have like the fastest internet, but I just have a beefy computer. I just don't have good internet. Like I have decent internet. It's fine. It's workable, but I don't have like the beefiest internet, where Niki is the opposite. She is like the high speed internet, like the super high speed internet, but not the custom built PC that I have. So
maybe one day
we can with our powers combined, we make a fully functioning YouTuber / podcaster,
Yeah, but I am having fun editing it now that like it's working on a software that I'm comfortable with. I think that's really like what matters. It's like find a software you're comfortable with, because now I'm able to add different cute little edits and funny things that like I couldn't even begin to figure out how to fucking do on the other one. So it's much more visually interesting now with a program that I can actually use. So we have all that to say, we have a gaming channel. It is slowly getting up and running, but if you guys want to see Sims content, can you let us know? Like, can you either leave a comment like on the post on Spotify or on the episode on Spotify when it comes out, go to our Facebook page and leave it. I am trying to, or actually Instagram is probably better. I'm going to try to start getting out more content on Instagram. It just seems to be the platform that I'm able to like utilize the easiest. It will end up going to both Facebook and
whereas
Instagram,
I know nothing about Instagram. So I know Niki's more of the social media person, where I know nothing about Instagram.
So I feel like it's easiest for me to use Instagram right now. So that's probably where I will be most active. So if you want to find one of our posts on Instagram or DM us on Instagram, you can totally do that. Let us know what you want to see. And if you guys have episode suggestions, please DM us on Instagram. Let us know what you want to see. So
and this will be in the show notes, but our YouTube or our gaming channel is Thanks for Looking. So
yep. I actually haven't been putting it in the show notes. I will do it this time though. I will add it. Yeah, our gaming channel will be in the show notes too if you want to go check it out. So with all that being said, I think we've yapped enough.
Yeah.
And it's actually starting to storm here, and I have to drive in this shit in about an hour.
Storm here, but yeah.
So about a half an hour actually. Yay. Fucking wonderful. But all right, we love you guys. All the podcasty things are in the show notes. We gotta hit it at least a Julie.
Julie, do the thing.
I'm afraid there are no more things to do.
Gotta hit it with the double tap Julie and Tinson. All right, guys, we love you. All the podcasty things are in the show notes. Like I said, check out the gaming channel. It's also in the show notes, and we will catch you next week, we promise. All right.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.